There's a lot of conversation ongoing around ESG. And often the conversation seems to be directed towards, is ESG even something worthwhile following? Well, I have worked both in the private sector, but I've also spent quite about a decade in international development. And I can tell you that there is actually value to be derived from ESG activities by any organization, if you know how. As a matter of fact, I believe we have a one-day program where we do something around how to help executives understand the value to be derived from ESG. So there is value to be derived from ESG. What I do want to talk about is the social component of ESG, and I'm sure at another time we'll do the environmental and the governance elements of that. But often when you talk to people about the social component, the S component of ESG, the traction seems to be focused on corporate social responsibilities, which is something organizations have always done, even before the conversation around ESG began. But the S within the ESG, it's not only related to corporate social responsibility. The S actually straddles or encompasses everything that is people around your organization, or the primary group of people that your organization's existence has to involve. So the S element in there has to do with the society that the organization operates within, which is what we're all used to, the corporate social responsibility. But it also has to do with your own employees. It has to do with other stakeholders like your suppliers and the rest. So it is worth keeping that in mind, that when you talk about the S within the ESG, you're looking at your suppliers, for example, giving them fair wages. You're looking at your employees in terms of, for example, their welfare and everything along those lines. And then, of course, you're looking at the core element of the S, which is the corporate social responsibility that we're all used to. Now, there are three things I think organizations can do better to sort of better deliver on their social responsibility in that regard. The first thing, and I learned this from my days within the international development industry, is that whatever you do, ensure that whatever social intervention you're planning involves the people who are going to be the beneficiaries of those social interventions. So you do need to bring the people who are going to be most impacted by your social responsibility into the picture for the design process. Don't design something in your office and assume that it's going to be acceptable, it's going to be impactful to the people whom you're sending it to. It doesn't really work that way. The second thing, organizations can do better is to ensure that when you choose, and this is one of the ways you actually drive value, is that when you choose a social intervention, make sure it is aligned with your business objectives and aligned with your already existing strategy, because that way you ensure that you are not needing to invest new additional funds into running a social intervention, but you are actually using resources that are already aligned with your strategies and with your objectives. And very lastly, ensure that if you're running a social intervention program, you get professionals or experts, whether it's in the middle or the beginning or the tail end of it, to help you measure the actual impact that is being delivered. Because often when an organization does this, say you're running a girl-child education program, you often end up only measuring the number of girls that have been impacted. What you lose out from measuring, for example, is the impact, the ongoing impact that would have on the demography of women who can now make better choices with their lives, and how that impacts other people within their society. So those are three things to be considered to make your social intervention hopefully a lot better than just going out there, running a program and getting back at it.